We've got some downlighters here that are misbehaving. They've been wired up pretty poorly. And up here we've got like some kind of junction box that's not been terminated very well. And if you actually pull that out and start waggling the wires, the other lights will start going off. Also, the other lights that are up here are on a 50 watt transformer. And each bulb that's actually plugged in there is 50 watts. So you're actually overloading the transformer because one transformer is doing two lights. So we're getting it now where one light is working and the other one's not, and that's because the transformer's overloaded. So we found this terminal connector here that's been wrapped in insulation tape, and as you can see there's loose connections in there because when you play with that bit, the lights at that side are coming on and off. So what we're going to do is, when we're changing these downlighters, we're actually going to renew the junction boxes as well, and we're going to use some Wago boxes on there which are nice and safe, and some Wago connectors. As well as sorting out this dodgy wiring, we're also going to replace the downlighters for some 240 volt ones, which will be a lot more reliable because you don't have a transformer. A lot of people think that the low voltage lights are cheaper to run, but they're actually not. They're actually more expensive because your transformer actually wastes a little bit of energy as heat. The first thing we're going to do now is isolate the electricity. And we're going to take all the old lamps down and the transformers, and then we're going to renew all the junction boxes and put up some 240 volt ones. It's important before you start working on anything electric that you confirm that it is dead before you touch it. So we're just going to use this digital detector and we're just going to check the wires. And as you can see, they are dead. Now when you've done that, you've got to confirm that your tester's still working, so you need to find a live wire and confirm that your actual tester is working again. And as you can see, it's still working. So we've confirmed now that those lights are completely dead, completely isolated. Right, we've confirmed now that the wires are dead, so we've pulled the transformer down. And as I said before, this transformer was actually powering two lights, and that's why we're having problems. So now what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect it all. We've re-terminated all those dodgy connections now into a Wago box using Wago connectors. And then we've wired it up to this 240 volt downlight using that piece of cable. So now all we need to do is push that up into the void and then push the downlighter in. Rather than try to show you how to do this on the actual ceiling, I've actually cut an hole out of a old laminate flooring plank there, and I've pushed two cables through. You'll notice that I've cut the earth wires off these. That's because they're not required, because these are double insulated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to connect your wires up to your light, and then I'll show you how to put the downlighter in to the actual hole. Obviously that would be in your ceiling, but it's a lot more easy doing it this way. Because halogen lights create a lot of heat, it's quite normal to find that which is heat-proof sleeving. And also you'll see that the actual light itself is designed to keep the junction box away from the heat that's going to go up that way. So all we need to do now really is terminate all these wires into there. You'll see in there as well that there's actually a locating lug, and that's where the terminal block should sit, just on there like that. You've got to trim your wires to the correct length so that they're not sticking out when you put them into the connectors, because you don't want that kind of thing to happen. You want this outer sheath, this outer insulation, to be on the inside of that box. You can see that when we put the lid back on there now, it will actually grip those cords and stop them from coming out. So now we've terminated all the wires in there, we can now push that back up into the hole, which should be into the void above the ceiling. And that bit there, like I said before, is designed to make sure that the heat doesn't damage the connector block. So it's just a case of pushing those two springs in there and watching that wire there for getting trapped. Just a case of pushing this through the hole, pushing in those two spring tabs, and then just push the downlighter in. And then once you've done that, you can plug your lamp in. And then finally you can insert your retaining clip. So that's how to fit the actual downlighter. And if you ever need to take it back out again, you can just get your nails underneath it and just pull it out like that, and the springs, and just pull it straight out. If you're unsure which way those springs go, they actually go that way down. So if you stuck one side on first and then the other, and then that's it, just push them in. And they just clip into place like that.